An activist in Baltimore thinks the city should pay killers not to kill. Watch.
I can relate to the shooters. Guess what they want? They want money. I can't stop the shootings. No one in this world has proven to stop the shootings, not even the church. But what we can do is put them in compliance.
Greg, what else should we get paid not to do?
Oh, I can think of 6 things I'm doing tonight. You know, I like this idea. I like this idea, except I really don't trust the killers to keep up their end of the bargain. You know, I think at a certain point they're going to ask for more money that I don't have. But it's an interesting concept in the fact that it reminds me of the exact ideology behind the hard left over the summer when they were talking about the riots and the looting and the arson. There were a lot of blue checkers on Twitter saying that looting and destruction is a form of protest when all other protests go unheeded. So paying a killer not to kill is the same as give us what we want or the city burns. It's essentially the same logic of blackmail. If you don't pay me or you don't obey me, you will be hurt. And I heard that all summer, saying like, hey, this is, looting is just part of the deal, right? If you had learned, looting wouldn't happen. It's like, that's how I feel when I hear this.
Yeah, Jesse, it's not just activists saying this should happen, but Democrats in these cities think, oh, why not? Let's try it. Just throw away more taxpayer money.
Why stop at shooters? Let's pay rapists not to rape. Let's pay thieves not to steal. And how do we know they're not just going to pocket the money and keep squeezing the trigger? We're going to go by the honor system. As Greg said, the honor system doesn't even work in boarding schools. You think it's going to work in Baltimore? I do give a little credit to the ex-com that pitched this idea because at least it's an idea.
Yes.
None of the other dumb politicians in Baltimore have proposed any ideas as they've watched their once proud, thriving industrial port city just decay into a criminal carcass over the last 40 or so years. So, you know, better than nothing.
Yeah. Dana.
Well, did any of you watch The Wire? In season 3 of The Wire that takes place in Baltimore, the police have this innovative idea that they're going to basically let all the drug dealers deal their drugs and do their drugs in a certain area of town, and they're going to look away and not do anything, which basically ended up falling apart because it incentivized people to deal more drugs and do more drugs. So I don't think this is going to work, but I also think it speaks to the need for more education, more economic opportunity, not necessarily more government involvement.
Juan, last word to you.
Well, I live like 40 miles away. I never heard of this, and the city council definitely is not taking this seriously. But it does raise an interesting point about the connection between poverty and crime. I think it may be a strategic appeal, Katie, for universal basic income, you know, that kind of thing. To say, oh, you know what, people get desperate, crime increases, they do horrible things. But it is to me, it's just a nonsense. I mean, I just wouldn't agree to it. I just think it encourages bad behavior. I mean, you couldn't have paid people not to attack the Capitol on January 6th. You couldn't have paid people not to try to kidnap the governor of Michigan.